Hey, it's Kevin Tolfa with GigaOM, and I just took delivery today of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. This is an international edition from the UK that I ordered. Got held up in customs for a few days, but it finally arrived. Because it's international, it will not have support for the US LTE frequencies. Actually, it doesn't have an LTE radio at all. It's HSPA plus up to 21 megabits per second. For all intents and purposes, however, this is the same phone that's coming out in the United States possibly in the next couple of weeks and very likely to be on all of the major carriers. So let's take a look and see what's in the box. This edition actually is from France, which I find interesting. Let me open this up and show you the phone first. I've got it set up a little bit and I'll give you a closer look, of course, but here it is, the big old Galaxy Note 2 with a 5.5-inch display. Just to give you some comparison to, say, a Galaxy S3, and I'll do more comparisons in a minute. That's what it looks like. And if you've got an old iPhone 4S like my wife does, well, it's pretty small. Here, let's do this so you can get a feel for the screen size. There we go. So the whole iPhone 4S actually fits within the screen of this phone. It's big, no doubt about it. It is pretty thin though. I'm going to give you an overview of the hardware in a minute. Let's go through what else is in the box here. We've got a European USB adapter. It's 2 amps, so it should charge the phone pretty quickly. I have an adapter for this. If you needed to get one, you can go to a Radio Shack, a Walmart, and so on, and get a travel adapter. It works just fine here in the US. We've got the USB cord. It's micro USB, which is standard in the EU. Also have some headphones with a microphone jack and they're in-ear headphones apparently, because I've got some of the little cups and things for the ears, the little suction cups that go in the ears. And then a whole bunch of stuff in French, je ne sais quoi. But no, actually I know why, because it's a French model, so that makes sense. So this is the 1280 by 720 Super AMOLED HD, so if you're worried about a pen tile display that some of the other phones have had, this does not have the pen tile display. I actually do see a difference. It seems less honeycombed or boxed when I really look close at the pixels for what that's worth. So in any case, let's take a closer look at the hardware, show you what it looks like compared to some of the other phones and tablets that I have. It's pretty big. Before I do, I know people are going to say it's too big, it's too big, it's too big. Honestly, I don't have a problem talking on the phone like this. I don't talk on the phone that much. When I do, I use headphones or speakerphone. This is probably TMI, but it should give you a little bit additional information on the size of the device. I am 125 pounds and about a 29-inch waist. What does that mean? Well, I've got my smallest jeans on, okay? So to say that you can't fit this in a pocket, well, let's see if I can just do that, and trust me, it's in my pocket. It's gone, I don't have it. It's easy, I can sit down. Oh, I didn't hurt myself. No, it's fine. I can take it right back out of the pocket. There it is, boom. So, is it big? Sure it is. Is it too big? But that depends on your usage habits and your preferences. I don't think so. Let's take a closer look at the size, the software, and some of the other things. Alright, so let's take a quick tour of the hardware here. We've already talked about the 5.5-inch display. It's Super AMOLED HD. It is 1280 by 720. It is not a pen tile display, as I said, so it looks really good up close, nice and crisp. So that's great. You also have a couple sensors and a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera here. You've got your power button that wakes the device. Pulling out the pen will also wake the device. This is actually the home button, I'm sorry. Power button is on the right. We'll get to that in a second. I almost didn't see these little capacitive buttons here for a little while, because when the screen turns off, they just disappear. You can't see any sign of them. It's really nice. This is the gray version of the Galaxy Note 2. Very thin device. I'll show you next to turn off for a second, next to an iPhone 4S. About the same thickness. It's rounded on the edges, of course. On the top side, you've got the microphone port and headphones. Left side, you've got up-down volume rocker switch. Bottom, you've got the micro USB port, another microphone jack. The slot for the S Pen, I'll put that S Pen in there. Fits in just like that. And then you've got your power button right here. Back side, you've got an 8 megapixel camera, LED flash. The camera seems pretty good. I believe it's the same sensor as in the Galaxy S3. You also have the speaker back here. Let me take this cover off for a second and show you the massive 3100 milliamp battery right there. big battery. You've got a slot for a micro SD for memory expansion, and then for your micro SIM, which you actually have to take the battery out if you need to swap SIMs. Put this back in. It's a thin cover, plastic, shiny, smooth, but not that I feel like I would drop the device, so that's good. So, having seen the hardware, let's do this. I'm going to take the pen out first, because one of the differences here is the pen, and notice it automatically registers that the pen is out, and it takes me right into my notes and such, so I can create a note. And there's an agenda note. I don't want that. Let me just do a standard note. Actually, here's one I did before. First note, so can I use this? You'll see that this device has a digitizer that recognizes the pen before it even gets there. See that little dot? So once I do that, I can rest my hand on here and write up. Whoops. I need to edit that, don't I? There we go. This is another test. This is pressure sensitive, so I can go light, whoops, too light, thin. I can push hard and go thick. So that's pretty cool. We'll save that just for now. I like how the phone wakes up when you take the pen out and recognizes that the pen is out. That is pretty slick. The pen is also more ergonomic and longer. I definitely like it better than the original Galaxy Note pen. Much nicer. It's actually close to the Galaxy Note 10.1 pen, if you've seen one of those tablets. So I have not done much customization here, but I have added a folder. I added Chrome because it comes with Samsung's internet browser, which is probably built on Chrome, to be quite honest, but regardless, I like Chrome, so I'm using that. Got the Play Store, the whole shebang. I like these little folders. It's kind of neat. Let's see. You know what? Videos are pretty wicked because you've got that pop-up video. So I'm going to show you a video when I was in Vegas. Oh, where's my... There we go. When I was in Vegas, I jumped off the stratosphere. There we go. So I can sit here and watch that while I say, oh, let's do Facebook, for example. So I can watch my video while I'm doing Facebook, which is great. I can go back to full screen with a double tap. The screen itself looks fantastic. This was done with a GoPro camera. It looks great. Now let me show you one other thing. That I'm taking the pen out, and I can hover, just like before, and get to the part where I just jumped, for example. There you go. Viewing angle looks really good. If you like to look at Vegas from the side. There you go. And again, I can make it a pop-in video as well. There we go. Highly recommend jumping off the Strat too. I'm not fond of heights, but it worked out really well for me. Anyway, so you got videos, you've got the S Pen. What else? I know it came with Dropbox. I actually received 48 or 50 gig of Dropbox storage, which was nice. That was handy. I have it for 2 years, so up to Dropbox. So I've got everything right here integrated in. In fact, I can go into my device settings, and you can see under my accounts, where are my accounts? There we go. I've got Dropbox, Google, Twitter, and so on. So that's integrated right in, which is really, really handy. Let's see what else. You know what? I'm going to go to the application manager because this will tell me or verify that I have 2 gig of RAM in here. So if you add those two together, yeah, you come up a little bit short, about 1.8 gig, but that's okay. That's important because 2 gig paired with the quad-core Samsung Exynos 1.6 gigahertz processor. So far, I have seen no lag in this device. Everything's been really zippy. Personally, I think it would be a little zippier if I had stock Android on here, Android 4.1, without TouchWiz UI, but that's okay. I can live with this for now. It's super quick, quite honestly. This does come with Android 4.1.1, by the way. Let me, again, go back to the settings, and we can verify that about the device. There you go, Android 4.1.1. I noticed that the device does not have what the Korean version has, that is multi-screen with 2 apps at one time, and that has to do with the build number here. This is a slightly older build. I've checked with a software update from Samsung. I have not gotten it, but I suspect that I will get that soon at some point. Again, this just went on sale in the UK, so it's going to take some time, but there you go. I mean, that's a very quick overview. So far, I like it a lot. Let me just show you one last time because the size is a big factor for people. Let's put it next to my Galaxy Nexus, which has been my phone every day for the last year. We'll tuck in the iPhone 4S. I don't have a 5. And then we'll tuck in the Galaxy Nexus. I'm sorry, the Nexus 7. Too many Galaxies. So there you go. That's what the size looks like. You can fit that whole iPhone right in there. Look at that. So it's definitely a big difference for me going from the one on the right to the one on the left. But so far I like it. I'm trying to figure out, can I get the best of both worlds between these two devices in this one device? That's really why I bought this. Part smartphone, part tablet. Galaxy Note 2. I'll have more, obviously. We'll have a follow-up review in detail, but for now, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to the review.